Hello, everybody. Today we have with us the Chief Financial Officer and Registrar of Ahmedabad University, Bhupendra Shah. Welcome to the show, sir. Welcome to the
It's my
Collegedunia
pleasure.
portal.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be associated with you. Tell me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. So, sir, beginning with the interview, my first question to you is that you have held several key positions at educational institutes throughout your professional career. What are the key factors that keep you connected to the education sector?
Just to give my background, I'm a chartered accountant and worked for 34 years at Irving Mill. So at that time, I never thought that I'll be connected with the academic sector. But so happened in the later part, there was a fee regulatory committee set up by the government. And Mr. R.J. Shah, retired justice, selected me. And that's how my first association with this sector started. And then I realized there are several opportunities, there are several challenges in the education segment, especially in the self-finance mode. On one hand, government is trying to increase the GER, gross enrollment ratio. And on the other hand, that is something which only the private players can do. But unfortunately, in Gujarat, the fee and admissions are regulated. So that's the reason we were not able to, I think, go full heart with this. So then I started visiting several campuses, met several seniors in this field. And I realized that this is one where a private university or self-finance institutions can definitely play a great role. So when I completed 58 years of Irving Mill, I decided to quit. And that was in 2009. So Sanjay Lalbhai, who is basically a common leader at both the end, he was our CMD and he was the head of Education Society. So he asked me to spend few years. We started in 2009. So he said, you can help building all the systems and processes. And that's how I got connected with Ahmedabad University. So I was registrar, CF also. And we were very few handful of people like myself, Dr. Kaldo, the first provost, and Praful Anubai. And then we set dreams for our own thing. Just to tell you that in general, the private players, the self-finance institutions are always seen as rent seekers. They are here for making money, and that's the impression generally is carried among media, among students, among even government also. But they don't know what is Ahmedabad Education Society. We are there since 85, for 85 years. And we have always believed this is to be a very noble cause. We are never interested in making money. If I just give you some background, we don't have any management quota also. So then I thought that we can definitely do much better and take Ahmedabad University to its height, which it actually deserves. So that's how I got connected with. It was never thought, but it happened because I was connected with Fee Regulatory Committee and saw several campuses within the state.
That's great, sir. Very, very thoughtful of you. Coming to the next question, what is your philosophy on leadership and how would you like to describe your leadership style?
See, nothing specific that we have learned, but over my almost 45 years, I realized that if you have to rise anywhere in your organization, in your community, in your family, you alone can't do it. You need a team, okay? And team always helps you out in taking care of all your responsibilities, provided you have faith in them, you empower them, and then you move on. There's a great, I think everybody knows about it, but to do it, to put it in practice is difficult because then you have to rely in whatever strength profile you have among your team. So not everybody is extraordinary. So I realized that if everybody has some potential, if I exploit that part, okay, and move on, then everybody would put their best. So I always believe in empowerment, okay, doing things not necessarily in one area. See, when I did CA, most of the people used to go for practice. And I was in industry. I thought if I have only one qualification and I have to serve for 50 years, I don't think anybody would allow me to work only on their single qualification. So I kept on developing interest. So from account to finance, to information technology, to HR management, to policy framing, corporate governance, and several other areas. So that made me learn new thing, and in the process I also empowered the team. So just to summarize, my leadership is expand your horizon as much as you can, so that you are always charged up, you have fire to learn new things, and you develop your team, putting full faith in them. And yes, I think if they do well, it is everybody's joy. If they can't do well, it's just a question of time that we will learn, and there's a learning cost to that. But fortunately, my team has never failed me, I think. So my style always is expand your horizon and let your team perform, and at least expect that each one is going to make some mistake. They are not all extraordinary brains, okay? But at the same time, if you put faith in them, if you empower them, if you trust them, I'm sure that they will perform. And if I can give you one example, few years back, when the year ends, financial year, there was my year ends in March. Normally, people take 6 months time to close the account, get it audited, and present before the board. And in past, I had done it in over 9 days only. Like March ending, we did it by April 10th. So I talked to my team. Are you ready to take challenge? We can do it in 1 week time after close of the accounting year. And everybody laughed at it. Arey sir, kaise hoga? You have to have reconciliation and all kind of thing. I said, if you plan, matter stop there. But then after a week, they came back, said, we'll do it. And they did it. They did it in weeks time. We called the board meeting on 9th April, and the board was amazed to see that it was a proper audited accounts made over nine days, and everything was done by them. And they later on admitted that we really enjoyed this, working together, staying late night, and then enjoying all the festivity, but they did it. So I think that everybody has something among them. Instead of criticizing those things, if you just put faith in them and inspire them to put their best foot forward, I'm sure results will.
That's great. So very, very well said. Thank you so much for your lovely response. Moving on. So any insights on how the institute might be more welcoming to the students from different races or economic backgrounds?
An interesting question you said. See, historically, we are at Ahmedabad, for Ahmedabad, in Ahmedabad. Okay, so we are local only. Almost 3-4 generations, you can see their father and grandfather, because we are there since 85 years. But when we set up university, we thought that if we had to compete among best in country and best in world, then we cannot remain local. Okay, so we thought that we should bring all kind of diversity among student body. It's not that because we have high fee, only those who can afford should study, I think. So we made very clear that ours is a means blind merit-based admission policy. Meaning, whosoever has a merit and is there in the merit list need not worry about the financial condition. We will take care of that, and without any limit. Second, we thought that we need to go out to rural areas where students have studied in vernacular language, Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, but still they have capabilities. Not that it is English which makes the major difference. So we also try to reach out to those schools through different initiatives and routes. So that's what we did. Of late, we are going out of Gujarat because we are, as we said, local in Gujarati. So now we have decided to move out. We have presence at several metros and mini towns, and talking about what Ahmedabad University is doing. That's how we are able to attract a good number of students from across country. See, today we have almost all the states represented in our admission campaign in our student profile. The number is increasing definitely. But that is going to be a real university. You can't be restrictive to only Gujaratis or Hindus or vegetarians or only rich. You have to have, because that itself is a learning environment for students. So that's our approach, that move out of Ahmedabad, out of Gujarat, out of India also, and then get best of student life. And reason being that, see, for building an university to this level, you need excellent faculty. And we have par excellent faculty. I think world over, in last 5 years, because of the network of Pankaj Chandra and other members and word of mouth, we have been able to rotate best of best faculty. Our society has a huge land bank. We have created 1,000 crore corpus. So we have financial independence to whatever extent you want. We are not dependent on anybody. So we have infrastructure, we have human capital, Okay, our value system is such that we never work for money. Even we had NRI quota, we disband them. So we are only for the talent. So now since we have everything well placed, it is the student body which is going to make the major difference. So if we get, I can't use the word raw material, but if you have at the entry competent students, medical student who are very responsive, coming from a good background, I'm sure they will gain a lot, and university will also in the time to come in the process gain a lot.
Absolutely. So on that note, my next question would be that when you first came to Ahmedabad University, what was your vision about the university? Has it evolved over time? And how far along implementing that vision are you?
Yeah, the vision was, see, whenever we read any university ranking, all of us know that you will never find any university of even India in the global ranking. And so was the case with any Gujarat university also in the Indian ranking. So we thought that we will have to at least in next 10 years take Ahmedabad University as one among few in the country, and then going forward in the world also. Okay. You'll be surprised when the name was Ahmedabad University. People thought, yes, there is one university in Ahmedabad. They never knew that there is a real identity called Ahmedabad University. So everybody would go to Gujarat University, somewhere else, but they will never realize. So that was the state where we started. Within city also, even the postman never realized what is Ahmedabad University. And from there, we have covered long distance. And today we are surprised. We have kids, especially girls, coming there on their own, taking decision against their family wishes to come to Ahmedabad University, knowing well that what is Ahmedabad University, what kind of education we provide, what is interdisciplinarity, what is the foundation program doing, okay, what kind of transformation they can think about their own self. So I'm confident. We have successfully covered a long distance. I would say every 5 years we have reached a milestone, and this is the third phase of fifth year, where we are very sure we will go higher and higher. But yes, good part is that now Ahmedabad University name is known outside Ahmedabad, outside state, and in the country.
Absolutely. Wishing Ahmedabad University all the very best for the coming years as well.
Thank you for you.
So
I'm sure you, because the students come through you, so I think your word is actually going to give you some kind of confidence that yes, there is a serious player in this time.
We do our best from our end, sir. Coming to the next question, how do you tend to establish a healthy relationship environment in your institute of Ahmedabad University?
See, when you talk about healthy environment, relationship, it is among the faculty, among staff, it is among students, and between students and faculty. The first thing we always maintain that this is a place where it is a congregation of meritorious. Whether it is faculty, whether it is academic staff, whether it is student. So that is the first thing. We have few non-negotiables. Okay, we don't compromise on any of the statutory governance or any kind of issues. Okay. The student body will tell them that no ragging is allowed. This is a home away from home, and you should be equally caring and concerned about other members who are over here. So that is always instilled from day one there. If we look about their overall wellness, see, as you know, students, when they come out of 12 standard, they feel suddenly they've got too much freedom. And especially when they're away from their home, the comfort environment did a lot of things. So we have a wellness center called Setu, which takes care of all the aspects, whether it is financial distress or mental well-being or some kind of emotional support. So that is working well. We have what we call a circle of care and a student mitra. So a senior student becomes mitra of 10 to 15 students. And there's a faculty mentor also engaged with that. So from day one, a fresh student will find a comfortable circle. He will have someone to, let's say in terms of faculty to go back to him. He will have student mitras also who will support them. And that's how from day one, they are very comfortable and confident of staying over here. So that is one part. Otherwise, in terms of healthy relationship, if you look at environment, we provide them all kind of facilities to move around, to hang on, sports facilities. So everything is there. I think they don't have to worry anything about.
That's quite an efficient approach.
And if there are any complaint, they can openly come to anybody. For example, Pankaj Chandra, the Vice Chancellor, has open house every Thursday afternoon. So anybody can just call him and come to him, meet him, and then share all the concerns, good, bad, ugly, whatever they want to say. They're all open. And so is with everybody. All the days, you're in my office, everywhere. So
that's
a very good environment.
That's great, sir. That's actually quite an efficient approach, I must say. So, without taking much of your time, we'll directly move to the last part of the interview. I would just like you to give a few suggestions and advices to our young youth and the aspiring students. So, what would those few suggestions be?
Whenever we have a practice of orientation for the fresh students, and we also meet parents. And while Pankaj talks about all the academic side, rigors of education, I always tell them that you are fortunate, you are over here based on your merit only, no influence, no recommendations. You have to work hard. These are the crucial years of your life. Your parents have invested in you, because obviously at the private, the fee structure will be reasonably higher. Okay, they have best of environment, excellent faculty. Parents have given them freedom. I always tell them that be responsive. Don't waste your the golden period. You have all the time to enjoy these 4 years. Okay, you can have fun. You can make good companies. But please remain focused that end of 4th year, you have to go out with some kind of tremendous value addition among you. And not only as a graduate, as a human being. So our whole approach is that a student after completing 12th is a raw element. Okay, he has all kind of dreams and hopes, but he has never seen the real world. In 4 years' time, we train him such that even he himself will be surprised seeing the transformation in him, and so will be their faculty also. Okay, so my only advice is that enjoy this time, but please take care that this is the period for you to build your own career, to shape your own future, and then once you are in the world, you do whatever you like, because then it's a different world altogether. Okay, nobody is going to be to support them, but this is the period where remain on track, masti karo, fun karo, do whatever, but don't do it at the cost of others. That's the reason I always tell them. See, in fact, just to give you one example, every year I have to take some restrictive measures to punish some of the students, and I don't like that. But I always tell them that let this be one of its case. Don't force us to do that, because it's a zero tolerance environment. Okay, so my only word to students' body is that make best use of this time, opportunity, and don't betray your parents and your family and your faculty.
Right, sir. Thank you for those lovely words of wisdom. I'm sure our students, our audience is going to find that pretty informative. Thank you for such an intellectual session. And on this note, I'd like to conclude the interview. So,
my pleasure, Hem. And I also appreciate this kind of effort, because see, in today's time, it is very difficult for students to reach out to several institutions, meet people. But this is the medium through which they can connect well and know by themselves what is good for them and what is not so good for them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.